Self is the condition of itself. You know what I mean? So it's like a circular argument that which depends on something is also the same thing itself. It's like saying, oh, that's a TV. Because how do you know that's a TV? Because that's a TV. So that's depending on the thing itself. So that also, I mean, this is the argument actually that's presented by our dialectical theologians, and I'm trying to present it in the most simplest way possible, really. So these are the things, about Iman, and the Iman and actions are two different things. Take it, we have a hadith Mubarak of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Sahih Muslim. It says, "At-tuhuru shatrul iman," that cleanliness is part of Iman. And you think, wow, if actions are not part of Iman, then how comes it says in the hadith that cleanliness is part of Iman? For the reasons already given, that Iman and actions cannot be the same thing, as we've explained earlier. Now, the Ash'ari explained that at-tuhuru, cleanliness is part of Iman, means that imagine if there was a tree, Iman was a shajara imaniya, if there's a tree, then the fruit on that tree would be actions, good actions. So a fruitless tree would still be a tree. So good deeds are actually fruits and results of Iman, and not that without the fruit there would be no Iman. These are just very intricate things that I thought are deemed important that I explained to you. And our point here in this program particularly is not to ask you must believe in something. It is to present you some subject matter for contemplation. So whoever is listening can go and research for themselves and accept it or reject it. It's entirely up to you. That's the whole reason, the essence of being a Muslim. So anyways, the tree, okay. So the tree and fruit, that's the difference. That's how much Iman and the actions are different. Moving on now. Imam Sayyid Sharif Jurjani rahimahullah divides Iman into 5 sort of different types. And he goes, there are 5 types of categories of types of Iman. The first of all is Al-Imanul Matbu' wa huwa Imanul Malaika. First is the programmed Iman, which is the Iman of the angels. Remember, angels don't have a choice. They're just programmed and commanded by Allah, and they don't have any free will. The second is Al-Imanul Ma'soom wa huwa Imanul Anbiya. The second is infallible Iman, and that is the Iman of the prophets. And then after that is Al-Imanul Maqbool, which is the accepted Iman, and that is the Iman of Mu'mineen, of the Muslims, of the believers. And after that is Al-Imanul Mawquf wa huwa Imanul Mubtadi'een, and then it is the suspended Iman, which is the Iman of the innovators in religion. Then finally is Al-Imanul Mardud, the rejected Iman, and that is the Iman of the hypocrites, of the munafiqeen. So this is the discussion about Iman, and how Iman is at-tasdeeq. Iman is attestation, confirmation of that which was brought by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and is definitely proven to be from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is also includes the Quran and the definite hadith, and therefore the denial of such definitive belief would take one outside of the fold of Islam, such as the belief in the finality of the prophethood of Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because that is proven from a definite text which carries with it a definite meaning, and therefore the one who denies the finality of the prophethood sallallahu alaihi wasallam will be out of the fold of Islam, because it is proven from a definite text which carries a definite meaning. Other than that, the 73 sects of Islam are all Muslims. misguided, no doubt, but they are all Muslim. Sataftariku ummati, Rasulullah says, my ummah will be divided. So the very reason Rasulullah says, my ummah, means that they're all Muslim sects. So anyway, now, what is the significance of Iman? Let us look at it from another aspect and perspective. After the basic discussion, but let's look at it from another point of view. You see, brothers and sisters, that Iman is, let's look at another perspective. See, brothers and sisters, that when we have these lights, the food for these lights is electricity. The tree in your garden, the food for that tree is in the soil. So when you look around us in this world, you see that everything is running on something. Everything has some kind of provision or sustenance. Similarly, when you look at yourself, when we look at ourselves, what do we see? We see the 5 external senses. We have eyes. The food for our eyes is light and beautiful scenery. The food for our sense of smell is fragrance and perfumes. The food for our sense of taste is delicious food. The food for our sense of touch is smooth textures. The food for our sense of hearing is nice sounds. Similarly, we have internal senses as internal faculties. We have a faculty of reason, of aql. The food for our reason, of our intellect, is ilm, is knowledge. The food for our heart is love of Allah and His Prophet and of the family. And then we have a soul, my dear brothers and sisters. Iman is the food for our soul. So there is another significance of Iman. And see how when the soul doesn't get its sustenance and its provision, then it's restless and finds escapism in various aspects, in various places in life. So anyway, so that's the significance of Iman, is kind of inherent and intrinsically built inside us as human beings. Now, after the significance of Iman, let us move towards wa'amilus salihat, of good deeds, actions. You see, my dear brothers and sisters, that look at the scales upon which you weigh things in this world. Mizan. Do you know, we have told from a young age that on the Day of Judgment there is going to be Sirat and there's going to be Mizan. Mizan we understand to be scales on the Day of Judgment. And on that our good deeds and bad deeds will be weighed. And you get this imagery in your head as if people will be carrying big bags and loading them upon the scales on one side and upon the scale on the other side. And when the scale, and you know the scales of Qiyamah, you know, in this world, if the scale is heavy, the heavy scales go down. But on the Day of Judgment, the heavy scale goes up. And so on, you know, we know these scales on the Day of Judgment. And I just want to share an insight with you on that, on